Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's first edition Pathfinder role-playing game. And we are using this game to play in the in Innistrad, the plane of gothic horror from Wizards of the Coast's Magic the Gathering game. With me tonight are the two stars of the Friday night session. First up, we have the man to thank for this particular campaign. This campaign, or series of adventures, I should say, are made possible by a very generous donation from our first player, from Jeffrey, who made a donation to the Heroes Save Villages campaign, the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. So, Jeffrey, why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing?
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Rickard, and he is a sword master. I don't know how to describe him. What is he, Kev? He's a...
He is, like mechanically?
Oh, he's a swashbuckler?
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
he's all about his magical rapier.
Yes, which is named Silverdawn, and is a sliver of the legendary Hell Vault. And assisting Jeff and Rickard as the other star of the Friday night session, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave, at David J. Forte on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm playing Magdalena. She is a level 2 Cavalier Ghost Rider and level 3 Cleric of Avacyn. And I think I mentioned it before. She's a 5'4", 140 pounds, and blonde haired and blue eyed, and probably kind of cute. Yeah. And tonight I am drinking Jim Beam Devil Cut bourbon extracted from the walls of the barrels. So we'll see how that goes.
Jeffrey, what are you imbibing in tonight?
Some Glenmorangie.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Well, I'm once again living large with black coffee. So look out, world. We will be having another player joining us later tonight too. Dave, who will be playing Ulrich, but he is not able to make it right now. So let's talk about what's happened in the first couple of sessions. Because oh boy, has there been stuff that's been happening. What do you guys remember about the last 2 sessions in Innistrad?
Chaos and madness.
And death.
And death.
Yes. So in the first one, we were hunting a vampire, and we showed up in the city where we thought she would be. And basically, instead of finding her, we found a destroyed city and a decimated church. And then we proceeded on to a local monastery where we found some very strange things.
Including the body that rose out of the ground.
Yes.
And a corpse that was freshly buried, too shallow. We think some foul doing went on there. It started to suspect the folks at the monastery for some less than noble deeds.
And last session, you guys had made your way when the storm finally broke. You were just arriving at Heron's Grace Monastery. And maybe let's... Emmy's giving shit to somebody. Let's take a look at the map here just to refresh where we were here. So you guys were originally chasing Elsbeth Falconwrath, and we'll meet her here. Boom! Look at that, lovely.
So lovely.
She's dust.
We were. Oh, and I just heard the music pick up. Awesome. She had stolen something from a reliquary that was in Thraben, an artifact known as Avacyn's Tears. And that was a censer that was said to have... Well, she's pissed at somebody. Yes, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear her barking.
Huh? I got a door closed too. That's through the closed door. Jeez. How dare people walk on the street? Fuck those people. She had Elspeth Falkenrath had stolen the that artifact and was making her way off towards the Stencia, where her clan is kind of most powerful. And you guys managed to track her down in a small town called Heronkirk, though on the way you did lose quite a few number of your party to the vicious vampiric necromancer. When you entered Heronkirk, you found it completely burned and charred. That was here, including the church itself, the the church of Heronkirk, and in that chapel is where you found all those charred skeletons that seem to be kneeling around a central figure, which was this. Good Lord, even for her, that's a lot. They were all kneeling around this charred skeleton that you guys realized was the remains of an angel from the flight of herons, right?
Right.
And
Magdalena approached a ghost or a geist.
Yeah, guys.
And allowed it to almost like possess her and experience the death of everybody in there.
Yeah, there was that unusual geist that was lurking in the back there too, and it seemed to be one of the town priests whose spirit had lingered behind. Do you remember what vision that it granted you?
Yes, another one of the angelic groups.
Yeah.
The Burning Blade.
Yeah.
Right.
That had come crashing through that enormous, beautiful stained glass window and apparently had laid waste an inferno, consuming all the living beings within. That, of course, is completely unprecedented and without any clear explanation. That was when your colleague, what is his name? Ulrich? No. Ulrich, yes, had rejoined you in his form as an enormous black direwolf. And that's when you guys made your way to Heron's Grace Monastery, right? There you go. That's what Heron's Grace Monastery looked like. Oh, you know, I didn't show you last time, guys, was the graveyard. Heron's Grace Graveyard. That is not easy to say. Check it out. That is what, if you click on it, it'll expand. That's what Heron's Grace Graveyard looked like. Although, of course, when you guys went into it, it was almost entirely shrouded in that pounding rain from that thunderstorm. I know what you're saying, but Kev, I don't hear any thunder. Don't you worry. There's your thunder.
Should I turn my volume up? The readers or the viewers can hear it?
You know, the difficulty with doing it that way is then it cuts out when other people are talking.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the reason we haven't been using it so far. But in the background, I'll turn that down just a smidge here because that is a little loud. I do want you guys to be able to hear me.
Why?
Why? We'll do all in mime. Well, actually, that'll be difficult because I can't see your cameras in Roll20 tonight.
All right.
Okay, so you guys had made your way to Heron's Grace Monastery, which looked like... Oops, wrong screen. Kev. Looked like this. Boom. And from there, you met Mother Agatha, who was the priestess or the abbess of the Heron's Grace Monastery. What do you remember about talking to her?
She was awkwardly nervous when we were telling her about what happened in the town and the death of the heron. Strange. It was a strange reaction, not what we were expecting when we were telling her about what happened. Yeah.
Jeff, what do you remember about Rickard's interaction? I think Magdalena did most of the talking in that scene. when you guys were, or after you had finished meeting with her in her study, that's when you guys were given kind of the free run or free reign of the church. You could access the library, you could access the chapel, you could go to your cells, and that's when Ulrich had spotted something red glowing and drifting out in the graveyard. Do you remember what you found out there?
Another Geist, a red Geist.
Right. Being the canny and well-rounded scholars that you are, you knew that the red Geists, where is it here?
Killed in anger or rage.
Yeah.
Died when they were in rage?
Human spirits motivated by fury sometimes return as red-aligned Geists. These are often the spirits of people whose corpses were raised by ghoul callers. However, I think you guys know that that is certainly not the case in here, because after a furious melee out in the pounding rain, you guys did manage to force that Geist back into its grave. And what do you remember finding underneath where the Geist had manifested?
There was a dead body of a... Who was it? It was a member of the church or something? Or
yeah, it was a monk.
One of the monks?
Yeah. Had several stab marks in his back. And this was, you knew that he was not placed in a proper grave. This was a hasty affair where he was only set maybe 2 feet down into the ground. The reason you were able to spot it was because of the loose soil underneath it. So you guys had made your way back inside, and that's when you guys decided to return to your cells to dry off and try and get some rest. When you made your way past the cells, you could hear in each of them there were monks, brothers and sisters chanting some kind of prayer, and it seemed to be all of them chanting the same prayer. And you could see the light from the candles in each of their cells that was shining out from the space at the base of their doors, casting weird, like almost like a ladder that you were walking along as you made your way to your cell. I'm going to make one small change, and each of you will be sleeping in a different place, only because Ulrich, I need to excuse Ulrich's absence for the first little bit of this. And as you guys were setting yourselves down, Rickard, you had placed Silverdawn next to your bed, and you look back to, you took your armor off, you looked back to the wash basin and the mirror to wash up before bed, and that's when you saw those words hanging, or rather dripping, in seeming blood. Do you remember what they said?
No, I don't remember, actually. They are killing me. Or they are coming?
When you turned, you could see that there was a single feather that seems to have scorched a circle around it where it came to rest on your pillow. So why don't you pick up there? What are you doing?
So there's a single feather, you say?
Yes.
Is it a feather of something that I recognize?
No, the feather is it's white in color, and it is you would guess it comes from a fairly large bird. But you look back and forth, you can see there's that blood in this tiny, and remember, you're in a small little monastic cell. So the room itself is probably no bigger than like maybe 5 to 7 feet wide and about maybe 10 feet long.
Hmm. I think I would immediately go and find Magdalene.
Okay. So you head out to the hall, and you can hear. I mean, outside of the walls of the monastery, you can still hear the rain pounding against the windows. You can hear the crash of thunder, and you go in to walk up and knock on Magdalena's door. And within Magdalena, I think we talked last time. You did get someone's help take your armor off, right?
Well, I can take it off on my own. It just takes a little longer. So
Oh, right, yeah. So you're maybe actually, you know what? Let's. What kind of armor do you have on?
At the moment, none.
No. I mean, what do you normally wear? I'm just going to judge and see if you would still be in the process of getting it off or not.
I believe it's plate, but I'm just going to double check. Not in my password.
Yeah, so it's to take off leather takes 1 minute. To take off half plate or full plate is 1d4 plus 1 minutes.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
I'm just back on that takes forever.
Yeah. You where? Let's see here. Where is it? What's under your equipment? Your gear.
Yeah, masterwork half plate.
Half plate. Okay, yeah. So that would be about 1d4. Give me a d4 roll, will you? Please.
First roll of the night.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Whoa! That's where you don't want to roll high.
The straps are wet and everything is sopping wet from being outside, so it's slipping out of my hands. And
yeah. So you've maybe got and I don't know the names of all the different parts of I know the gorget is the neck part, but you're taking the different parts of your armor off. And you're not quite, you've got maybe like the greaves and the shoulder pads. I can't remember what they're called. Pauldrons?
Pauldrons, yeah.
Pauldrons, okay. So those are off. You're getting ready to take the breastplate and is the cuirass the thing that is right around the waist?
Mm.
I asked Dave because Dave makes chainmail, so he would, of all of us, he's the one who's likely to be most qualified to tell us what parts of the armor are.
Cuirass is your breastplate.
Cuirass is your breastplate, okay, but isn't there a different name for the top part and then the bottom part?
You know what? That I might not know.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, this isn't a Antiques Roadshow about armor. So you're in the process of taking the stuff off when you hear a knock at the door. Is that what you do, Rickard?
A quiet knock, yes.
Okay, you hear a quiet knock, and what do you say, if anything?
Magdalene, are you decent?
I'm fantastic. What do you need?
Well, then he opens the door.
Okay.
And he rushes in and he quickly closes the door.
Okay. You've seen this look on Rickard's face before, Magdalena. This is the he means business look on his face.
Yes. What is it, my friend?
I went to my room and there was something that I saw in the mirror, some writing that said, "They are killing me." And then there was a feather on my pillow.
Feather? Where's the feather? Do you have it on you?
No, it's in my room. Quickly, let's head back there.
I want to put my armor. Okay, let's go.
Well, how much are you?
I think you're maybe like she's about a minute off from completing to take everything off.
And is it faster if I help her put it back on?
To put it back on, it would take it's 4 minutes to don it.
With help, it'll probably cut it in half.
Let's see here. No, wearer must have help to don this armor. Without it, it can only be donned hastily. I
see.
Yeah, and if you're donning hastily, you get the armor check is increased by 1. Removing it, you don't need anyone else, but putting it back on, you do need someone else to help you, like secure stuff tightly in the right locations.
Yeah.
Your call, Magdalena. We can wait for your armor.
But if it's
If you-
nothing, then
Well, it's enough that I'm here. Your call. Things have been strange, and there could be dangers here in the monastery.
you're right. Let's armor first.
Okay, so it's about 3 minutes, and this is not the first time you've done this. This is probably, one of you guys helps her out every time she gets her stuff secured, and you get completely kitted back out again, and you make your way back into the hallway. Still dark, still full of the quiet chants and prayers of the members of the Heron's Grace Monastery, or the brothers and sisters, I should say, of the Heron's Grace Monastery.
Clank.
Head back.
Clank, clank.
I think it's relatively quiet. Like it's not because it's fitted for you because you've done up all the straps. It's not like you're, a set of pots hanging loose. There's the scratching and there's a little bit of rattling, but it's not, not awful, especially with this thunder in the background too.
Yeah.
So you make your way back to Rickard's cell. You throw the heavy wooden door open, and who's heading in first?
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Magdalena, you make your way in, and there's nothing on his pillow. And you look at the mirror. You told him about the writing on the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, her. Sorry. And there's nothing on the mirror either, Magdalena. Now, you guys. Well, let's see here, Magdalena. What are you? Let me see here. I'm
going to use my detect fiendish presence cantrip.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, click on that. Oh wait, maybe I didn't load it. I have that in your spell book though. Give me a sec here. Okay, so detect fiendish presence.
Oh wait, I have to. We haven't rested yet, so I have to be careful what I try and cast here.
Okay. No, you have not rested just yet.
No, then I only have guidance left.
Well, cantrips aren't used up when you use them.
Okay.
Cantrips you can use as many times as you like.
But don't I have to prepare them?
Well, what I've got down is detect fiendish presence, guidance, light, purify food and drink as your cantrips you prepare, or orisons.
Okay.
So those, yeah, you don't have to pick one of those. Like I think at your level, you can prepare 4 cantrips per day.
Okay.
Or orisons rather, and those are the ones that you had prepared at the time.
Right, and I think I'd used detect fiendish presence earlier in the adventure, so I'm assuming it was prepared as well.
Yes, yeah. Whatever's on the spell book or your spell book, those are the ones that you've actually prepared. Divine casters can pick new stuff every time they, from the full list whenever they prepare.
Right.
They're much more flexible than most of the arcane casters. Okay, so you concentrate on that, and what
So actually, it detects evil, except that it only detects outsiders of the evil subtype.
Yeah.
As well as lingering effects caused by their gifts, presents, or spells.
So it's weird. In the course of your service to the Church of Avacyn, you've been around infernal forces, black geists, demons, those kind of things, and the constructs of alchemists and mad scientists. In this case, it's weird. You're getting hints of it, but you can't quite detect an aura. So it's like, when you get a smell, like you get a whiff of something, and then you try and smell it and you can't smell it again. You've got that initial sensation of something infernal here, but when you're concentrating on it further, it just doesn't seem to be. You can't pick it up again.
Okay.
So you're not sure. I mean, you're certain that something might have been there, but maybe not.
I'm going to continue concentration,
Sure.
and I'll leave the room and see if I can pick something up in the hallway.
Sure. Yeah. There's, I think there's that same sensation where like you get kind of a hint of it, a fairly strong hint of it, and then it's suddenly gone.
I'll go look down either side of the hallway and see if it's stronger in one direction or another.
Sure. What is your perception bonus? Actually, I got it here. Your perception's a +4. Okay. So you're looking up and down, and you're seeing like little flickering elements of it. What do you think it would look like? What do you think of like a flash of in your, divine state that you're in? What do you think a flash of fiendish power would look like?
Well, fiendish power often comes from those cowardly, evil creatures that like to hide. So I'm thinking it would be like seeing the flickers of it on like the walls or the floor, and then having it like trying to seep into cracks and dissipate.
Yeah. Okay. I'd love that. Okay. And that's what you're seeing is this oily, paranormal spiritual pollution almost, but it's just hints of it, and then it's gone. And then you're staring up and down the hallway and you can't seem to see any trace of it in either direction. Rickard, you've seen her, like, I think you saw her cast this spell and maintain her concentration, but with us, a kind of sub-vocalized prayer to Avacyn. So I don't doubt that you've probably seen her do this before.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? You get in there incidentally, Rickard. If you look,
I'm shocked that the stuff is gone.
Yeah.
I'm questioning my own mind a little bit, but I'm asking her, like, could this be? How could this be?
Sure.
She'll say there's been some evil here, and it's trying to disappear or wisp away like water trying to find the cracks in the flagstones.
Magdalena, would you kindly give me a knowledge religion check? And actually, Rickard, you can do that as well. You guys are both trained in religion.
No, I have nobility and local knowledge.
You should have 1 point in religion as well. Let's see here.
Oh, or does the check mark just mean...
let me see here. I could have fucked up when I entered his stuff here. Knowledge, religion. Checkmark just means that you are... So basically, for the rest today, yeah, that just means it's a class skill. You can ignore that. It's only the actual ranks that you have in it.
Okay.
And you got 3 ranks in religion. You guys are a good church-going boy. Unfortunately, he wasn't listening very well at his lessons, it seems. So, Magdalena, here's the things that I think you know about this is that the kind of iconography he was talking about, the feather, I mean, that definitely has an angelic quality to it. Mm-hmm. That is not something you would associate. Demons in Innistrad are horrific fucking things. Like, they scream evil.
Right.
Right. So, like, the... let me see here if I've got an easily accessible image. But they are, like... unbelievably inhuman. Like, here you go. That's what a demon would look like.
Right. But if it was one of the angels, one of the orders of Avacyn, or a follower of Avacyn who maybe has been corrupted or something, perhaps that could also explain why there's very minimal sense of power lingering nearby. There
is. The other possibility, and this one's almost too horrible to contemplate, is that would be the power that would be used to restrain a divine creature, like an angel that's suffused with Avacyn's grace.
Mm.
So that's what you're making sense. And as for the writing on the wall, that your knowledge of religion doesn't really afford you much in the way of insight on that. So what do you say as you're sort of looking up and down the hallway? You've seen this flashes. Rickard, if you look back at Rickard, he does seem... am I correct in thinking that he's a little uneasy, Jeff?
Oh yeah, he's uneasy, that's for sure. He is quite concerned.
Okay.
Magdalena says, Rickard, the feather, angels, this lingering power, this could be several things. And she'll list off the two that are most likely: the corruption of one, or perhaps power of controlling one, used to control one.
Yeah, and you don't doubt that, that he saw what he actually... If he says he saw that, then you have no reason to doubt that he actually saw that.
No, not given what her vision was that she experienced at the cathedral.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Well, is it safe to rest for the night, or should we be pressing on?
Magdalena, you did seem like there still are flickering traces of it heading off in one direction as well.
I will follow that path and tell Rickard, I can see bare traces of this power. We must follow it.
Okay. So you follow it along, and it seems to lead to like down the hallway, down some corridors, and down this kind of winding, spiraling staircase. And then it eventually leads you into this, the library. And you guys make your way in. Now, of course, it's not, in bright light. The way that this illustration is, it is only like, it's all in darkness and then illuminated by flashes of lightning. You can tell that this seems to drift in here. I think there's probably more rows of books on the right side there too, or rows of shelves full of books and scrolls and so forth. But this gives you a sense of what to see in there. What do you guys do? It's pitch black in there, and unfortunately, neither of you has any darkness.
Do we see any torches or any method of lighting it up in here?
Yeah, there's a little lantern that is right next to you.
I don't want to give up concentration on my.
Okay, I'll take care of it and light the lantern.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you, sorry, I'm just moving your tokens over here. Boom, so we know who's who. Pow.
Hero 1 and Hero 2.
Yeah. So you make your way in, and you see there's a small little brass container with matches in it, and you take one, strike it, and lift the glass glass body of the lantern, light the wick, put it down, and can you give me a will save, please, Rickard? And Magdalena, would you kindly give me a concentration check? That'll be on your, I think the second tab of your character sheet.
Will save. Ooh.
Okay. So you're fine, Magdalena. It doesn't break your concentration. What's about to happen doesn't break your concentration. What happens is you hear, one second here.
I'm eating the last of a giant Toblerone, and it's a sad, sad day.
The eating of the Toblerone, or the fact that it's the last of it?
The last of it. Like it's
one of
2 or 3 inches, well, probably 3 inches tall and 18 inches long.
Jeez.
Oh, like the ginormous ones,
Mm.
where each piece is basically a chocolate bar.
Pretty much.
Oh, that makes me so hungry. Okay, so you, what startles you is out of the darkness, there's this bird that flies over, and you kind of, go back, and the bird is a small. It looks honestly like a small white dove that lands right next to the just lit lantern, and you drop the body of it, so it clatters down into the brass housing. The lantern is lit, and this white bird is sort of dancing around in it, and kind of looking at the two of you.
Like the bird is in the room, it's real, or it's in the lantern? Like,
no, it's in the room on the desk where the lantern was.
okay. Oh, man.
And then you hear a voice in your head. And it sounds like an old man's voice. Who are you?
I'm Rickard. Who are you?
I'm Cassisian. What are you doing here? Are you guests?
We are guests. Who are you?
I'm Cassisian. I'm the librarian. You can both hear this in your head.
How are you speaking to us or how are you speaking to me in my mind?
Well, how else would I speak? I have a beak. He kind of holds his head up towards you.
Magdalena chuckles a little bit.
You're the bird?
I'm not a bird. I'm in the form of a bird. Perhaps this is better. And he sort of flaps his wings up, takes flight a bit, and there's this flash of light. So you kind of have to look away for a second. And you look back, and this is what you see. It looks like a helmet, a disembodied helmet with wings that are flapping and carrying it aloft. Would both of you guys kindly give me a religion check again? Nice. Okay. So, Rickard, you actually are the one who recognizes this. This is a lesser form of angel known as a heron's guide.
Interesting.
So he is flapping there, and he sort of is flapping it roughly where the helmet would be the height of a man. And it says, so you are guests. What a terrible night to be guests.
Terrible night to be murdered and buried in a shallow grave. We're on the track of a fiend. Can you help us?
What's happened?
One of the monks has been murdered and buried in a shallow grave in the graveyard.
Oh, no. Do you know who?
No.
And he's still flapping in the, kind of hovering in the air.
I don't know who. But we were attacked out in the graveyard when we went to investigate.
You were attacked by who?
What was it, Kev? I can't remember.
Red Geist.
A red geist.
A red... Here? That's unusual.
On the monastery grounds. Within the wards. I understand what that means. And I hope you do too. And I can see with my spell right now lingering traces of evil, and I'm trying to track it, so we can't tarry too long.
Evil in here, one moment. And he sort of turns and he's focusing his... there's like light that flares behind that visor that makes up the golden helmet. And he says, there's nothing here. And it does seem like he's right, Magdalena. It seemed to lead in here, like traces of it, but there's nothing in here Now, he says, "Are you injured? You faced something."
I don't think so.
I know. Are we?
I think that Magdalena used her healing to
Oh yeah, that's right.
bump you guys back up again. What that is? Oh my goodness! Avison, preserve us! What is that you have at your waist? He seems to be facing you, Rickard.
Oh, I can't. Of course, I can't remember the name of it.
Silverdawn?
Silverdawn. That's Silverdawn.
Silverdawn? That's not... I don't care what you call it. Is that a... That's a fragment of the Hell Vault. How did you get that?
Do I know how? Like, do I know as a player or?
Yeah. I mean, it was gifted to you. It was, the church granted it to you.
It was granted to me by the church. I am the protector of it.
Are you inquisitors? Has the Inquisition come here?
No. We are problem solvers for the church. We were here on business hunting a vampire who had stolen a very powerful artifact.
A vampire? From what clan?
Do we know what clan?
Yeah, Falconwrath.
Oh, okay. Last name.
Mm.
Elspeth Falconwrath.
Falconwrath? You're here.
She'd stolen the censer.
Strange. That's... Did you know that the monastery was built on the ruins of Falconwrath Castle?
No.
We did not know that.
Strange that she would be so close. Why were you pursuing a vampire?
She'd stolen the censer of tears.
And there's a flash again. A censer of tears. You brought it here. Did you recover it?
We've recovered it. We've not yet able to bring it back.
And you brought it here.
We came here because of the destruction. One of the burning blades of Gold Knight had killed one of Heron's Grace. One of the host of Herons.
That's impossible. Angels do not kill angels. You must be mistaken.
No.
Afraid not.
Must have experienced it through a white geist and seen the ruins of the cathedral and everyone who was in it. Lived through it.
No. And he's sort of he's flapping in the air, and again he's still talking in your heads, not out loud. You must be mistaken. There's no angel would take up arms against another angel. Avison promotes love amongst our kind.
I slam my spear butt into the ground, and I swear by Avison, my God, that this is true.
You would swear by Avison. Then,
I swear by Avison's love.
One moment, we'll see. And he kind of drifts around, and then there's this flash of light, and there's this glow of divine power that sort of flows out from him, or it, I guess. It's not a he or she. And there's a soft golden light that's glowing from within the helmet now, and he drifts forward and looks basically like as if he was standing over you, looking down at you, Magdalena. And he says, and now his voice has a bit of a like echoey timbre to it. Tell me again what you saw.
Avison closes her eyes. Magdalena closes her eyes and tries to remember what it felt like to be that brother in the cathedral, surrounded by all those people who were sitting and praying and kneeling and holding hands. And She describes the situation. She describes what she saw, the fire coming through the stained glass, shattering all the bodies in a wave of heat and flame, and the pain and the anguish that the brother experienced through the death of everyone in the cathedral.
Okay. I imagine that by the end of that, there's, her cheeks are once again wet with tears. And the angel kind of drifts back, Cassisian, and says, no. How is it possible? You're telling the truth. I don't. And he sort of is drifting off, and it's now, instead of a graceful kind of motion, it's a bit of a clumsy, it's the flying equivalent of like staggering back.
Mm-hmm.
And his voice seems to waver a bit. How could that be? This must be a trick of some kind. Some trick of some dark demon. But here, oh no. Oh no. What do you guys do?
I tell him about the feather.
Yeah, I explain the words that I've just seen.
What do you say?
They are. When I came back into my room after this discovery, there was words on the mirror in blood that said, "They are killing me."
And the head sort of, or helm sort of drifts around and looks back. Words.
Yes, they are killing me.
And a feather.
And a feather.
Feather.
Did you see it? And he's talking to you, or it's talking to you, Magdalena. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. Rickard, what did it look like?
The feather? I described the feather to them as much as I could see.
Sure. So, Cassisian sort of drifts up to you, and he seems to be sort of like, his head, the helm is sort of arced down at a slight angle, and it's kind of like flapping around as if someone was pacing and kind of taking in what you're saying. And he says, the feather that burns, there is one host, but why would they be here? But the magic, the incantation tells me you tell the truth. How could? Oh no. Oh no.
What do you think this means?
It means nothing good. I am the librarian, but only the librarian. And you have come here.
Is there a book that might tell us more?
And he kind of flaps and gets up. A book. A book, perhaps. Perhaps. What is it you wish to look for? And he seems to have his spirit seem buoyed by, going to his purpose.
Right.
What would you seek?
Answers.
The library holds many answers. And he sort of flashes, and now he's a bird again. And he flits up, kind of around, and he can still hear it. I can find you answers to nearly anything. I need only the question. He flies back and lands on the top of the the handle that sits atop the lantern. What questions would you ask?
Rickard, what sent us on this mission in the first place, besides the vampire?
It was the vampire. Recovering the censer of tears from Elspeth Falkenrath, who stole that from...
So, does it make sense then that the censer of tears is a part of this?
It's possible the censer of tears is involved.
What would somebody want with a tear of Avacyn?
The censer. The censer has a fragment of... it has a fragment of the divine archangel herself in it. It has her power. why would it find itself all the way out here? And why a Falconwrath?
I don't know.
Why would a Falconwrath take it and then let it be? And why would it end up here at a monastery built above the Falconwrath castle? That's too much to be a coincidence.
Where some would see coincidence, others would see the hand of Our Lady.
Is there any lore on Falconwrath Castle?
Much.
On beings that might have been left behind within the castle, buried in the castle?
Well, I know the Falconwraths were formidable necromancers, binders of spirits.
Capable of raising a red geist?
Black geists and worse, certainly. But wait, let's see. And he kind of, or it flaps around, begins to sort of like direct you guys. It flits off and it'll flip back, and boom, this big book will be dropped on one of the reading tables in the middle, and then it's off, and suddenly out of the darkness again, poof, another one comes down, then it goes off, and soon you guys have this small pile of tomes and scrolls and whatnot to start piecing through. And he lands, and the lightning flashes again and illuminates the library. And Cassisian says, "Oh no, that won't do at all," and kind of gestures towards one of the there's like these brass pillars, or in the center of the reading areas. They're sort of divided up so you can each read on each side of the table, and on the top of them there's this little like brass knob. He gestures towards each of them in turn, and they flash with a divine light. There. Better. And now the center of the library actually looks a little less spooky, at least to the edge of the darkness. So, 1 second here. Where did I put it? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to get you guys to do is, do either of you have... Oh, somebody's got some knowledge in history. Magdalena does. Does Rickard have any training in knowledge history?
History. No ranks in history.
No ranks in history. Okay.
Not nobility?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to get you guys to do. Is would you kindly give me a roll of 1d... Oh, I'm in the wrong. Hold on. MSCs. Nope, that's not what I want. Hold on. Hold the horse. I know that's not a saying, but... okay, so would you kindly give me a 1d8 roll and add your intelligence bonus to it, please? Which I think is only Rickard. And each of you guys can roll. Magdalena is just 1d8 for you, and Rickard 1d8 plus 1 for you. What this is, guys, is how much research, like how much knowledge you're able to sort of gather from this. Whoa. Good try.
Oh, 1, 2, 8.
Look at that. I rolled a 71. Like exploding dice.
I rolled, just so everybody at home knows, I rolled a 1d88 accidentally.
I got the hiccups right now. Good Lord. 1 second.
I highly recommend adding a tens digit every time the DN asks you to roll something.
It works.
Not really, but it's fun.
I'm just trying to say, I had the hiccups there for a moment. That was weird.
You were scared of the 1d88?
It shocked me. It truly caused me a sanity check. Okay, so what you find reference to actually? So you guys can picture you're paging through these books and looking and paging through it while Cassisian is sort of perched on one of those brass things and says, "No, try in there." and you're like, pick it up, and boom, goes down, and dust goes everywhere as you're paging through these. And that's when Dave should be on by now. It's weird. I'll send an invite to Dave again. I just realized it's 9.
Yeah, it's 9:15 almost.
Yeah, let me shoot him because now will be a good time for Ulrich to make an appearance as well. So he, what you find is that there is, in one of the books, you're able to scroll tubes. You're able to, pop through. You guys learned that it is indeed something that was built on the bones of Falkenrath Castle. And give me a sec here, because it's actually as an example of one of the reasons I love, kind of just rolling with the punches and emergent storytelling stuff. I actually didn't know that was the case until after two of our sessions. And I was reading an entry on Heron's Grace Monastery. I'm like, oh, that is super fucking cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, clinging to the middle ridge of the Geyer Reach between Hofsadel and Gatander passes lie the ruins of Castle Falkenrath, once a menacing architectural masterpiece that housed scores of vampires. All that still stands is a single tower that now serves, and surrounding structures that serves as an Abyssinian monastery.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what you find is, this place was the Falkenrath castle was basically cleared out by Sigarda rather, and Sigarda is basically the chief, the archangel, who is the host of Herons. That's what Sigarda looks like.
Right.
Sigarda drove the Falkenrath vampires out of there. What you guys also find is that there is there's a tube that seems to have architectural plans in it, and these are really, really old. Like Cassisian no doubt grabbed them from like the very bottom of some, what do you call it? Shelf. How is that the word I'm struggling for? Good Lord. Fucking weak. So at the bottom of the shelf, there's this, old leather scroll tube, and the scroll tube is, cracked, and the leather is brittle. You can hear it, kind of like cracking against each other as you open it up. But within there are the architectural plans for Heron's Grace. And it seems that the walls that surround this were the fortifications that surrounded Falkenrath Castle. And it seems as if one of the things they did, rather than repurpose everything, they just sealed off certain portions of the castle, in particular the subterranean cavern portions. Now, there isn't a great deal of reference to what was down there. And neither of you have any training in knowledge arcana. Why don't one of you guys give me a D20 roll? Let's see if Cassisian can help you.
Okay. D20. Bam.
Nice. Okay. So Cassisian says, "Oh my! If that could have been their summoning chambers. If they were configured for that to summon and bind spirits, we would have had no use for that." And he kind of just is drifting over or he's walking along as a bird at this point, and looks at the architectural plans. He's like, "Are they still down there?"
Where?
And he kind of pokes his beak down there. And there's basically a part where it shows part of the map where it shows the doors are sealed, and there's a little bit of like a passageway beyond, but it ends. It's like an incomplete map. Is that there? That was sealed off.
You think we should go check it out?
Oh, why would you want to?
There could be something there.
Anything worth finding, though? Evil. Have you told the abbess? Mother Agatha should know.
She was acting peculiar earlier.
And he looks up. What do you mean peculiar? She is a woman, wise, and blessed by Avacyn.
That I know. But when we were telling her about the death of the host of parents, her reaction wasn't what I expected the abbess to do when facing the death of one of her own.
What did you expect?
Shed a tear, be upset, have it hit her in some way.
I think Dave forgets that his message comes from an iPhone. Sorry, guys, it appears that I will not be able to join you tonight. Like, if you're going out, that's fine. Just let us know beforehand. So it appears Ulrich will not be taking part in tonight's session. You guys are on your own. It's hilarious.
Dave's funny.
Oh, man.
I will summon the spirit of my horse, and that will be enough.
Yes. So what are you guys going to do?
Can you tell when someone is not being truthful?
When, let me see here.
You've said several times now that you're telling the truth, and this can't be so. How did you know that?
I knew that. Where is it here? So I was trying to figure out if it's these are at-will abilities, or if it's stuff that he's had to prepare. Give me a sec here. Where is he? Where is he? And for those listening at home, I realize that I fucked up. The name is actually the type of angel. Please don't at me to correct me. I'm aware of the mistake I've made. I didn't want to bother looking it up, and it doesn't really matter for the purpose of this session. Okay, so he has... Oh, these are spell-like abilities. Okay. Oh, wait.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So, this can only... Oh, you know what? I bet you I've got the wrong... I've got the wrong sheet. I'm looking at the wrong fucking sheet. What a dummy. Oh, my goodness. I am such an idiot. Wow. Okay. Well, I will... I'll look at the actual guide here. Right. Yeah, so unfortunately that can only be used once a day. So he says, no, my the grace granted me by Avacyn permits me this but once per sunset. So, but
sun is yet to rise.
Mother Agatha has never been anything other than truthful.
Fair enough. Perhaps I just misread her. But if you doubt us or the strange occurrences happening here, perhaps you want to challenge that theory tomorrow.
And at that point, you guys hear this blood-curdling scream from somewhere off in the direction of the cells. And
here you have to go.
CCN sort of looks and says, "What is that? What are you guys doing?"
That is called an inciting incident, and that means we have to go now.
Yeah.
Ricard,
we must
go.
Clearly head off towards the screen.
Okay, so you go running off, and he sort of, because he's seen this, is flitting in place. He's like, I can't leave the library. I can't. And then his voice sort of cuts out when you guys get out of the library. You race back through, up the staircase that you came, and into that hallway where your cells are, and you make your way over to where Sigmund was staying, your ally, and there's a small crowd of monks and nuns outside, and they're all sort of muttering to each other. And when you guys walk up, they all sort of fall silent and kind of like, oh. And the door is open. There's one monk who's being kind of like reassured, or reassured, I guess, by a monk. A nun has her arm around him as if to say, like, it's fine, you'll be fine. What do you guys do?
Carry on.
Walk up and ask what's going on here.
Okay. They all sort of are looking at you and says, I don't, it's your friend. And when you get there, there's a smell of burning.
Smell of burning person?
It does smell like, well, you recognize the smell because your nostrils were full of it in Herrenkirk.
Mm.
What are you doing? You're standing in the hallway still. Oh, so what's that, Jeff?
Who is the person that's screaming?
It's well, you're not sure who it is because you haven't looked in the cell, but this is the cell that Sigmund was staying in.
Let's open the door.
Go in. Go check it out.
You step in, and I need you both to make a will save for me, please.
Of course. Oh, God. It's about as low as you can roll.
All right. So, yeah, that's not great. How about Magdalena?
I'm looking for my saves. Where are they?
They're right at the top under your AC touch flat-footed area.
Oh, okay. Reflex will. There we go.
Ooh. Both of you, Rickard, you actually cry out. And what you see is very much what you saw before in Herrenkirk. And whatever was in Sigmund's bed has been consumed. And there is a charred remains, or there is the charred remains left of what was once a human. The bed itself has burned slightly, but not nearly as much as you would expect. It's as if the body itself was completely consumed in flame, leaving just the slight scorching of the sheets and bed itself. From where the body is found, it's kind of half hanging out of the bed where it has tried to thrash and get away from the source of pain. And in the room, you can see there's all the different books and whatnot that Sigmund always brings with him, sitting in the corner.
We should check on Ulrich.
Yes, we should.
Okay, you race over, kick the door open, and give me another will save at +2.
Oh, God.
Killing characters on a Friday.
Hey, what? Oh. How did I roll a 0?
How did you? Yeah. Oh, did you hit? Remember, you
+2.
Yeah, you don't hit +2. Just hit 2.
Sorry, so it was 18.
18. You, as you were racing up towards the door to Ulf's room, you sort of knew what to expect. So both of you, both of you have steeled yourselves. You throw it open, and it's the same thing. And you guys are standing in there looking at this massive charred skeleton. And that's when you hear a scream from one of the monks from behind you. And you realize that they're seeing it as well. Would you each give me a sense motive check, please?
Sorry, Dave and Steve, we didn't get to your characters fast.
This is truly capricious DM bullshit here. Okay.
Sense motive. Not the best roll.
The reactions from these, from the brothers and sisters of Heron's Grace, it seems authentic. They seem genuinely upset. And at that, you kind of hear this, the sound of someone kind of walking in a hurried manner down the hall, accompanied by a monk. And it's Mother Agatha again. And she comes walking up, and where is it here? Remember, this is what, minus the giant fuck-off hammer, but that's what Mother Agatha looks like. A stern-faced, sturdy woman in her like late 30s, early 40s. What's happened? Tell me. Although, like, she doesn't have her full headdress on right now. She's got a simple kind of like a simple sort of hood, I guess, and then you can see her long salt and pepper hair is kind of hanging down loose, not confined by the robes as in the picture. And she says, "What's happened here?"
Exactly. What has happened here? Our friends have been murdered.
What? And she walks in and looks at your. This is the charred remains of Ulrich, and she kind of staggers back. She says, "No, Avacyn, protect us." She's grown powerful.
Avacyn, protect all of us. And especially the poor brother who was murdered and buried in a shallow grave out in your graveyard. Raised up as a red geist.
She looks in at you. What?
I look around at everybody who's there to see if anybody's face.
Sure. Yeah. Give me another sense motive check. I'll give you +2 to that as well, because it's a good prompting to try and get a response out of them.
An actual +2 and not just...
Just hit 2. Don't hit... If you hit +2, it'll give it a 0.
Yeah. It was a roll of a 1 anyways.
Yeah, that +2 will not... Okay, will not help you all that much. All right, so what... Yeah, she gets this... It's
only a 12.
Oh, you get a 1. You're reading nothing but like sinister motives. You're looking around and they don't seem... It seems to you as if they're faking their reaction. As is, this is just confirming your suspicions of Mother Agatha as well. What she's definitely knows more about this than what she's letting on. What do you do?
We demand to know what is going on here.
Give me, that sounds to me like an intimidate, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Give me an intimidate check, please.
Oh, wait, I have a special intimidate skill, don't I?
Oh, that's right, because you guys are mythic heroes. You do have that insanely kick-ass mythic ability you could you'd kick in. There we go.
Yeah, how does that even work? I don't remember.
So how many mythic points do you have left right now?
Mythic points. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you've used very many of them.
I thought I had it written down, but I can't see it here.
Okay, that's okay. So you have, let's see here. I'm fairly certain you've got at least 1 point left, but what it is you spend a mythic point. Your ability is the, where is it? Not Charmed Life. I think it's just called not charming. Where is it? It's not a deed. It's not panache. It's not your surge. It's not your surprise strike. Good golly. It's not your daring do.
I don't have the sheet downloaded, but I can.
Okay, well, yeah, I've got the sheet in front of me. It's just a matter of finding where the darn thing is. Display of charisma. There it is. So you spend a mythic point and you get plus 20 circumstance bonus on one charisma-based skill check or charisma ability check.
Holy shit. Yeah, let's do it. We really want to know what's going here. And if they are...
Okay.
So 20 is added on.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Put a nat 20. Holy crap. 50. I don't think I've seen
the highest roll I've ever seen in a Roll20 game.
Holy shit.
50. How
Wow.
the hell? Okay, and that's on the tail of a 0.
Yeah.
Although mine's technically a 12, but it looks kind of funny from the red
Yeah.
green 50.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, you snap at her, and there's this look of where, you know, her effort to try and kind of keep things together, keep things concealed, it finally breaks, and it looks like there is a wave of relief that goes over her face as her eyes kind of well up with tears, and she says, she's mad. The angel. She's gone mad.
Which angel?
A bright sword. A bright sword did that. She killed everyone in Heronkirk. And you can see, like, you can hear kind of muttering from the crowd. You don't need to make a check to know that she's telling the truth here. We came too late. We heard it. It came to us, declared the town to be full of heretics, and it ordered us to burn it. We tried to stop it. She tried to stop it. Helena. But the host of herons are shepherds, protectors, you see, and that bright blade was so incensed. She killed her. She killed Helena and all of those people. It was only... Avacyn helped me. It was only with the magics that we found in the deepest crypt. Only then were we able to bind her. And even then, the bindings are weak, and she is slipping her way free. She will kill us all and then move on to the next town. She's mad. Do you understand what she could do?
We must stop her.
How? Nothing we have can avail us against her. She burns with the very power of Avacyn.
Perhaps if we show compassion and offer a tear of our God.
The censer.
We have the censer of tears. A tear from Avacyn. Perhaps
Helena,
cure the madness.
Surely, and she steps forward and kind of grabs your hand, and it's pretty whole. Like she kind of grips it strong. She's like, "Surely you realize, you can hear it. Avacyn is silent. She is missing." And you know this to be true. You're still able to access your divine powers and whatnot too, but remember that Avison has been missing for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
No one's seen her in all that time. I feel that, in her absence, the stronger of these, some of these angels, the headstrong members of that host, they've gone mad. You should see the demands. They formed an inquisition. Did you know this?
Heard of it.
They're searing heresy everywhere where it does not exist. The people in Herrenkirk were loyal devotees. She killed them all.
But Avison preaches love and compassion. We must show that first. And if our enemy does not cure her of the madness.
Do you think we've not tried? And she's screaming or squeezing on your arm harder. Do you think we've not tried? Pled, begged. She threatened to kill all of us as well if we did not ally with her. And it was only when Helena left to try and save those people, that's when she turned on everyone. I don't know what's happened, but we've tried. There must be something stronger. There must, and she kind of trails off. Rickard, what are you making of all this?
This is trouble beyond what we imagined.
Well, and you guys know as well, like the power of an angel of Avison, of that particular host as well. The picture we've been looking at there is not a stylized, representation. That is what a burning blade looks like. They're the warriors of Avison.
Yeah. I'm not even remotely close to that strong. I have no idea how this will work.
If only Cassisian was still with us. He could help us perhaps find something in the library.
You mean if only if he was still with us?
We had a Heron's Guide. He was the host of and the guardian of our library, or the host. He was our librarian and archivist. Alas, he too fell. Madness took him, and he tried to strike down Helena.
Really?
Yes. Why?
Because a winged helm that changes into a bird? Sound familiar?
Yes. How do you know that?
Was just speaking to us before we came to the cells.
And she grabs your arm. What did you speak of?
Told him of the red geist that we fought in this cemetery and how we suspected some wrongdoing here in the monastery, and told him about our fight with the vampire, and he told us that this monastery is actually built on the ruins of the foe that we fought, the Falkenraths.
Yes, and?
That perhaps there's a summoning circle or something in the lower chambers that maybe they still had access to.
Does he know? Does he know how to access it?
Not
he
exactly.
said he maybe could, but he can't leave the library.
Does he know how to access it?
We'll go back and find out.
He was going to point us in the right direction when the screaming started.
Oh, gods. Oh, Avison, save us. And she turns and she runs in a fucking sprint in the direction of the library. What are you guys doing?
Run, follow, run.
Okay. You go racing down, and the you reach the library around the same time as her. And as you burst in, she's looking around, and those lights that were lit on the what do you call it, on the table are all out now. It's black in here. There's a flash of lightning, and then the entire library is lit up, and those piles of books that you were looking through now look much more sinister. And as he is as she walks in, she says a quick prayer and gestures with her hand, and phew, there's a book next to her that flares to with light, and she holds it up and is looking around, holding it over the scrolls, and she says, "No, no, 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 no," and is looking at the architectural drawings, and she says, "Oh no, he's found it. He's found the entrance." And that's when the walls start shaking. Guys, we're about 15 minutes early, but let's take our half session break and come back and see what happens. So let's take 5 minutes for a bio break and refreshing our beverages.
Done.
Done.
All right, who is back? Are we all back, or just me? Thought I heard someone else.
I'm back.
Oh, okay, cool. And let's see here. Just waiting for Dave. Oh man, so what is going on here? What do you make of this, Jeff?
Well, it sounds like a demon or something has corrupted the angels, and we're in big trouble because we completely rely on them.
That
In fact, I'm not 100% sure what we do without them.
yeah. That is, although I mean the Heron's host from Mother Agatha's story, the Heron's host wasn't corrupted.
Mm.
Right?
Well,
it was because that one was trying to protect her. It was just Cassisian and the whatever this burning blade one is. Oh my golly. Oh, that's the okay. I was looking at my maps that I've got for this, and I'm like, why? Oh, because you guys were in the graveyard last time. That's why. That's why. All right. All right.
All right.
Okay. So, are we ready to conclude? So, you guys are in the library, and that rumbling that you first took to be the thunder in the background grows stronger. And books begin to sort of tremble on the shelves all around you guys, and are begin to fall off. Mother Agatha looks around. She says, "Go, go! We must flee!" And she goes running out of the library, and she says, "Everyone, everyone!" And she's kind of running along, trying to collect all the various monks. As you guys are standing there, before you can have a moment to react, you hear this. You hear the beating of wings somewhere off in the darkness.
Oh shit!
What are you guys doing?
Preparing to fight an angel, I guess.
Okay. It sounds like the wings it's not like the massive wings of an enormous angel. It's the wings of something small. It sounds like Cassisian.
Oh, okay. Phew.
Well, we could kill a flying helmet, no worries, but an angel, that's
No, that didn't seem right.
And you can hear in your head a taunting sound. She comes, she comes, she comes. She shakes off her bonds. You will all burn. And it's flitting her off. You can hear it, but can't see it. What are you guys doing? The rumbling still continues. The books continue to fall off the shelves. A desk falls over. Not a desk, but like something on the desk falls over. What are you doing? Cracks begin to form in the window.
I don't know. What do you think?
So Rickard is paralyzed with fear. Magdalena, what are you doing?
He is.
I summon my steed.
Okay. If you're maneuvering, or you're planning on maneuvering anywhere else in the monastery, it might be a little difficult getting around.
Okay.
Just as an FYI, because I mean, imagine being on a giant horse trying to make its way through the hallways of a monastery.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
I mean,
I was looking at looking at the image here, and it looks very open in the room. So
yeah, and here, you know what you could do? Like, if what you're intending to do is say, like, charge towards that cracking window and jump out, you're basically on the ground's floor. You could get out of the monastery quite easily that way.
and that would create a opportunity for Rickard to escape as well.
Yeah, almost definitely. Well, he's also a swashbuckler, so I mean, he's got some. I think even if you summoned your horse, he may be able to do some kind of acrobatic stuff to like leap onto it as well. Ride like behind you.
Yeah, like what are your thoughts here?
Well, clearly we shouldn't stay. But
Right.
You can hear in your head, she's freeing. She comes. And that fireplace on the left there just flares to life. And this baleful red fire is burning in there. And you think you can hear the agonizing moan of Sigmund and Ulrich. Screams that no doubt they were able to bellow forth before their lungs popped as they were burned to death.
okay, I'm gonna summon my Geist horse, and
Okay.
as normal, the hole appears near the ground, and I grab onto the reins and leap into the saddle as it appears underneath me, and
Awesome. Okay.
and then I'll pull the horse back and draw a direct line to one of the windows where there's nothing impeding the ability to jump, and
Okay.
I'll look to Rickard and say, "Hop on,
Come with me if you want to live.
come with me if you want to live."
Rickard is just the
yeah,
state
Rickard-
of mind. Yeah, he'll probably do that.
Rickard, give me an initiative check, will you? I just want to see whether you or Cassisian acts first. Holy shit. Oh, it was intimidate. I rolled the intimidate. I'm like, did you just roll 2 50s in a row? What the hell?
No, but I just rolled a ridiculous roll.
Yeah, so you leap up into the saddle, and as you, Magdalena, are you planning on going through that window?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it rides towards it. We switch to outside, and we see this like diaphanous spectral horse with this shining knight on top, and this guy with white hair with a shock of black in it riding out on the back, smash through the window. And yeah, and then you land and gallop out into the pounding rain. Let me switch you guys back to the... Holy crap, did I load a lot of images in for this game? Good Lord. Okay, so what you guys go racing out. It's probably somewhere near the side here.
Okay.
And you sort of ride out, the rain's pounding down, and you can see that there are flickering of baleful fires. These are not the soft glow of like lanterns or candles or prayer candles or something like that. These are the fury of a raging inferno. Out the front, you can hear over the rain. You can hear monks and nuns are making their way out. And what are you guys going to do? They're sort of collecting near the front of it, and it's the whole thing. There's like crumbling stone coming down. It's as if an earthquake is striking this entire structure. What are you doing?
We'll ride towards the front where everybody's collecting, and then I'll slow up the horse so Rickard can dismount.
Okay. Your acrobatics is so good, you don't need to worry about making a check through Rickard. You're able to hop off and scatter down. Both of you are soaked by the time you come to a stop. And you can hear over the sound of the pounding rain and the blowing wind and the cracking or the peals of thunder. You can hear Mother Agatha shouting out, the bonds are weakening. He must have released her. And that's when the roof explodes. and everyone kind of looks back, and there's jets of flame shooting out from every side of this building. And when you guys, let me make sure I got the right map here. Oh, yes. So let me get rid of good old Sigamonde. Let me move you guys outside. Oh, this is awesome. All right. Let me move you guys over to where you are. So you are standing in the rain with all the collected acolytes, and I mean, most of them have been knocked to the ground by the force of the explosion. The roof of the monastery has largely been blown away, and you can see that there are still some fires burning within it that seem to be illuminating part of the shell that once was Heron's Grace Monastery, and before that, Falkenrath Castle. But beyond the gates, you can see the shattered remnants of the monastery. What are you guys going to do?
Rickard pulls out Silverdawn, and he's sort of staring at his own reflection in the extremely silvery and shiny blade, and sort of saying a prayer to himself.
Okay.
Awesome.
Not like to himself, but
No, I figured.
not.
You are the voice of your own god?
No.
Yeah. And
He'd be praying to Avison.
Rickard, you hear your mother's voice speak back. Because what you know is that when you whisper to it at night, your mother, whose soul resides in Silverdawn, because you put it there when you killed her, a corrupted witch who was burned divine by your blade. She says, I will watch over you. Only you hear that, of course.
Right.
What are you doing?
Can we see the approach of the angel?
You can't see where the angel is. Like basically what you guys see. Do you guys have, did I give you guys sight?
Can you guys have sort of two sort of circles?
Yeah. So those are lights within the church, but to get what was the monastery. There are several monks that are injured outside as well, but there are a couple that are still, fit and able to move. And there's, of course, Mother Agatha as well. What are you guys doing?
Do I know the name of this angel?
You know what host it comes from, but you do not know what the specific angel's name is. Right. Well, to be honest, you actually haven't seen it. Magdalena has seen it.
And only in a vision.
Yeah, and only in a vision. But you know what, Magdalena, why don't you, do you say something out loud, Rickard, about that?
Yeah, he says, do you know who we are to face?
So give me a religion check. Let's see if you're able to put a face to a name here.
Do it. Oh, nice.
That's good. I don't know if that's quite good enough to know. And the only reason is this is not what you saw was not one of the archangels. So at least there's that. The Gold Knight, Flight Gold Knight, does have a lot of different warrior angels in it, and the one that you saw is not one of the archangels.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, still quite powerful and terrifying, but not at least the not to one of the like Sigarda, who's a head of their host. So what do you say?
Yeah, you're just gonna say it's not one of the archangels?
Yeah, I'll just say I don't know who it is. It's not one of the well-known the archangels.
Well, at least there's that.
Are you on Mist still, Magdalena?
Yes.
Okay, let me get. I'll grab the.
Oh yeah, you're slightly bigger. I'll move over one square.
Oh no! It's what I'll do is I'll grab the token because I think I've got. Did I erase it? Nope, I erased it. Okay, let me grab you. I'll grab you a horse token.
Rickard will yell out into the darkness, "Show yourself!"
And they do.
Okay, and what you hear from somewhere in the look at that! I got a white horse. Boom. Oh, fat white horse.
Oh, there you go. Not so fat.
Oh, there we go. It's really more of a donkey now. Oh, and he's got thin. Shit. Let me layer. Hold on. To back. Let me give you control over that. Controlled by Magdalena. There we go. Okay, Dave, you should have control over that now.
Yep.
So you can put yourself on there. Awesome. Okay. So what are... Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I got a better... Does that look better?
Sure.
It's an actual white horse now instead of a off gray.
Kind of looks like a rat.
Yeah, it looks good. It squooshed the image. Maybe we're not going to find one.
Oh, the gray one's fine.
Gray one's, yeah, it's whatever. We see the marking of it. That's it. All right.
It's dying.
I mean, here's the other option is this.
No, that's not bad.
Which you prefer, Dave?
Can you just make my character 2 spaces?
I can, yeah. But then when you get off, I guess the horse disappears when you get off anyway. Yep.
Yeah.
And Sigmund is no longer able to make you, what do you call it, big any longer. Okay, so you say that, and there's this, pregnant pause as the rain is pounding down on you. Your face is soaked, and you hear this voice in Celestial speak to you, and it says, "Heretics will burn." And it comes from somewhere in here, and it seems to be carried on the wind as well. And there's a flare of light from within the ruined structure.
And fallen angels will be sent back to their creators, he yells out.
All heretics will burn. And you hear this scream from within there, and there's something is moving around within that the ruined walls of the monastery. Come and meet your end, heretic. Burn for Avacyn.
Time to fight. I'm done with talking.
What are you doing? Each of these squares is 5 feet, incidentally. Whoops.
What are these things?
Those are the monks.
Okay.
Some of them, I mean, there's more than just that. I just wanted to get some of them out there so you have an idea.
Yeah.
They do not look like they're in a shape to fight, though.
Are we going in?
Let's do it.
Mother Agatha says, wait. The censor. And she's talking to you, Magdalena.
Yeah. What would you like?
It has her grace. I don't know what you can do with it, but surely her power is your only hope.
We will use it.
Okay.
I really do.
So I am going to assume that you. Oh, you know what? So who had the sensor?
Me.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, right. You did take it. Yeah, yeah. Great. Okay, never mind. Then I was going to say I thought that Sigmund took it for some reason.
Mm.
Okay, what are you going to do?
Do we go back in? Smash? Or is it coming out? What do you think, Rickard?
I think we head in and kill this thing.
Boom, 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 boom. Smack some doors down.
Okay. So there's rubble on the ground. Basically, you'll see as you go through the map, there's bits where there's like bits of black and stuff on the ground. There's cracks. Any of those squares will be difficult terrain, but otherwise it's free. So Magdalena, you're riding. Fortunately, the ceiling is completely blown away, so you're completely able to ride in there now. Can you fit through the door there? Okay.
Appropriate sound effects.
Nice.
Okay. We're in the hallway.
Okay. So you ride in. You can see there are right over here. There's that burning. Oh, and there it is. The entire central area has been completely blown out. And you can see something flapping and moving up over here. It is not burning, however. And this is something very big. What are you doing? There's a second door over here, Rickard, as well.
Wait, what? On the right?
On the left. Yeah, right over there.
Oh.
That door is likewise blown away. Okay, so you come trotting in, Magdalena. What tier am I on here? Oh, wrong layer. There we go. Oh, sorry, I was pinging on the wrong layer once again. All right, so you guys...
You're like, it's over here, and I'm like, huh?
No, I know. it's so stupid that it only pings on the layer you selected. Whatever. Okay, so as you can see, like this place, there's a giant rent in the earth now where that has been pulled away. Each of these things here is basically a gout of flame that seems to be burning from the floor. There's no obvious source of flame there, and there is something moving up in the rafters up over here. And you can hear that same husky woman's or female voice come down. You've come, heretics. You've come.
Okay.
What do you say?
We've come to send you back to Avacyn.
No. She welcomes me. She tasks me. All of your heresy, all you heretics will burn. And she flies down and sort of arcs over this area here and hovers there. I'll move her token over there in a moment, but I want you to appreciate what you can see now. Guys, this is what flaps over that burning gout, that fountain of baleful flames.
Sweet.
Guys, let's roll some initiative.
No,
So
that is Avacyn.
Click on your token and then click on your initiative. And I will do the same for our good friend, the angel. Nice.
Now, Kev, I was trying to find somewhere where it says how much mythic power and panache I have so I could track it for this fight.
Yep.
I couldn't figure it out.
Under tracked resources, that's always a good one to go to. So your mythic power.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
7 a day.
Yep. Your panache pool is 5 per day.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want us to treat it like that was at 0 when we started, or full when we started this session, or do you want us to?
For you guys each prayed before you head in, so we'll put you back at full. You will need it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. Okay.
What do we have, sorry?
Here.
Let's see here. So for this, Magdalena. Oh, did you you didn't click on your token, right?
I did, but I still had the snap to sender ruler on and not the selector.
Oh, here you go. I'll add you in there. Okay, and then our angel friend here. Let's see here. Her bonus to initiative is.
Now, Kev, that's just the image you chose. It's not actually Avacyn.
It is just the image I chose. It is not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that image is actually Avacyn. It's like.
Yeah. So no, you
would be probably bow down and just say, "Take our souls," if that was what. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So she, unfortunately, will be acting first. So her action will be. Where is it here? Oh, man. This is the first time I've ever used an angel in combat, guys.
Ever?
Any game? I've never used an angel as an adversary before.
And it's going to kill 2 characters. That's pretty awesome.
I know. It's it's memorable all around. Let's see here. Unfortunately, good Lord. Okay, I found it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so what this will do is first, she brings her hand up and gestures down with it and says some word in Celestial that honestly, it's both of you speak Celestial, I think, right?
I just speak Common, apparently.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're.
I speak Celestial.
You speak Celestial. So what she has done is articulated a blasphemous word in the Celestial tongue. So it is just there's an element of wrongness to that just makes your soul shudder. It should not be possible for something in such a divine language to have been articulated in that manner. Now, what I need you guys to do is kind of give me a reflex saving throw. Each of you. Nice. Rickard, do you have a thing called evasion, a class ability called evasion?
I
don't think
so many pages of things. I don't think so.
No. Okay. So the reason I ask is if then you would have taken a successful save would have meant you took no damage whatsoever. All right, and Magdalena, not quite good enough, or is it? No, that's not quite good enough. Okay, so guys, Magdalena, you take, what is that, 9? You take 18 points of fire damage, and you take 9, Rickard. As this burning fire comes. Actually, she can't hit both of you. You're too far apart. So I'll say just Magdalena, because you're the actual priestess.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're consumed by this, and it's actually as the fire kind of roars around you, you realize that it's not burning the way that flame would, or like holding your hand over a candle. It burns the way like winter wind or snow or ice on your face does.
Okay.
Okay. And then she flaps her wings and is now 30 feet aloft in the air. That's it for Letheria. Rickard, what are you doing?
Trying to figure out how I fight something that flies 30 feet in the air. Is there anything to climb or swing on or try to do anything like that?
Absolutely. There's tons of ruined and loosened masonry and shit like that. You could easily make your way up, scrambling up the wall.
Okay, I'm going to.
So now I don't think so. To climb is normally a quarter of your climb speed, but you've got some badass abilities here.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I have one that really lets me make a good roll on those things, but I don't see anything that like.
Why don't you give me an athletics check, and then we'll see how fast, how much you're able to do. I'm assuming you're going to move and spend a move, because your move is what, a 30? So you move 6 squares.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move 6 squares. Boop, 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 boop.
Acrobatics.
Nice. Okay. And then, so you can move 30, and then you could move up 15.
Okay. So he's probably on the wall then, or like somewhere near the edge.
Okay. Remember, you can spend mythic power to take an extra standard action as well.
Did we regain any mythic power? I know we didn't really get a chance to rest.
Yeah, I'll say you're at full for this encounter.
Oh, so if I spend a mythic power, I get another turn.
Not another turn, just another standard action. And a standard action could be spent as a move or something like that. If you make an acrobatics check, I could let you make a leap to try and reach her. You'd be attacking.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
If that's what your intent is to try and get up to her, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's give me a roll here. Let's see how good you're. And if you spend panache, you get to buff the roll, don't you?
Yeah, I can spend panache to add a d6 to it, and if that d6 is a 6, I get to roll it again.
Okay.
And that continues as long as I roll 6s.
Okay.
Wait, where is that? Right? Is that right? I can do this after I make the check. What? But before the result is revealed? I don't know what that means.
Go ahead and make your check and let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll start by rolling.
Okay. 25. Whoa. Okay, so I'm fine with you like scrambling up the wall and then sort of like, leaning in against it and launching yourself off.
Right, like running up against the wall here and leaping at her.
Sure. Yeah. I'll put her to the back. Boom. All right. So go ahead and make an attack roll, please. I'll give you +1. I can't remember if it's +1 or +2 for a charge. I'll say +1 for now. Actually, I think it's +2. +2 for the charge, and then you'll just have -2 to your AC next round because of the mid-air charge. So here we go.
Did it do it? Oh, damage modifier.
26. 26 versus AC, hey? Do you really think that a 26 would hit an Angel of Avacyn?
I hope so, or it's going to be pretty hard to hit this thing.
Well, you would be right. So your blade, the what do you call it? The Silver Dawn carves into this thing, and let's see here, leaves a bloody gash in her side. Where's her freaking hit points? Where is it? Man, there we go. I don't know why I didn't put this shit in when I loaded the character sheet. But golly. Boom. Okay. Boom. All right. So that was 15 points of piercing. Awesome. Okay, so you stab in and land. She screams, and the wings recoil back. You're falling from 30 feet. Do you have anything that prevents you from taking damage from a 30-foot fall?
I don't think so.
So give me another acrobatics check to see if you can take no damage from the first 10 feet. I know for those listening at home, we're not playing Pathfinder at all by the actual rules here, but that's just the way it goes.
These are mythic characters, Kev.
Yeah, exactly. Mythic characters. We get to make shit up. Okay, so you only take 5 points of damage from the fall as you sort of land and roll, Ricard. So I'll put you about here, just next to her. Okay, so that was Ricard's turn. Magdalena, what are you doing?
Further to our question about mythic power, what about spells and channel energy? Do those get reset too?
I'm going to assume all of those are back on top again. Yeah, that's fine.
Hell yeah.
Excuse me. My goodness.
Love it. I will move to the center of the room using my mount's move.
Ba-da-bum, 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 ba-da-bum.
And cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, nice.
Using Beacon of Faith. So, Beacon of Faith once per day. Casting as if 2 levels higher. So, casting as if a 5th level cleric. It's a 2nd level spell. I'll need a little spear thingy if you got one.
Yeah, I'm just getting my...
Are you going to pull out a scythe? I'm good with that too.
Yeah, I was trying to find where... Because I know we had a decent image for... I'm getting a bunch of spearmen right now. Oh, there's a spear. There's a shield. There's our scythe. And he was in there. Boom. There we go. I'll give you control over it. Once again, you are king of tokens. I know you really just play the game to move shit around on the screen, so there you go.
That's why I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's an important lesson here. Know your players. Give them what they want. So where do you want to place that spiritual weapon?
Well, it attacks from my direction and within 120 feet. So,
yep. So that's you can easily place it right next to her if you like.
Bam.
Whew. All right. And does it attack in the first phase? It must, right?
It does, yes.
It does, okay.
With force damage.
Okay.
And
it's, I think it was, it's your wisdom modifier plus your base attack. So it's +8 to hit. We looked that up before, right?
Yeah, which is, I have my regular spear is +8 to hit.
Yep, so go ahead and roll that. Oh, man.
I need a second Glen Morangi for this fight.
Yeah, sip some devil's cut.
All right, so unfortunately, a 22 is not quite enough.
Oh,
so this thing swings at her and she dodges out of the way of it. If you had been flanking...
I was going to say, too bad I can't flank because of the angle I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, and she's so high in the air.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so is that everything you're doing this round, or are you spending any mythic power to do other stuff?
I'll use a mythic power so that I can... I can't cast a second spell. I get another action, right?
It's another standard action, yeah. I mean, if you've got a spell that's a standard action spell, I think you can spend it to do that.
A one action spell?
Yeah.
Cure moderate wounds?
You could do that, absolutely. You're a mythic hero. Badass mamma jamma.
Here's 2d8 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level.
If you click on it, it might roll that for you correctly. I can't remember if I entered that. I did. Look at that. That thing I entered properly.
So nice. That's 11 points back to my character. Who's
11 points, yeah. Pretty good. Okay, cool. So you summon Avacyn's spear, and then you call upon her for aid, and she heals you. Okay. Then we're at the top of the round. Letheria, does your spiritual weapon get attacks of opportunity? You know, it seemed like such a good idea to print your character sheets on like 2 sheets for 1, and now like my eyes are just straining to read this thing. Oh, thank God! Thanks. Same critical range.
Does not get a flanking bonus.
Does not get a flanking. Oh, that's unfortunate. And I don't see anything about attacks of opportunity.
I would think not.
No. Okay. So then. Okay. So then.
Reactions.
She is pissed at you, Rickard. She, her spear that she's got there, she flaps her wings and swoops down at you.
Is she making a melee attack?
She is going to be making a melee attack, yeah.
I am going to spend a panache and attempt to parry her attack.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, and because she's moved, she's only going to be able to make 1 attack this round. So this will be it. Let's see here. Her attack. Oh, my God. So this is a pretty... Well, I mean, you got a pretty good bonus, too, so who knows? Let's see how this goes out. And you know what I'll do? Fuck this. I'm going to roll it in the chat so you can see what you need to... beat. And, yeah. That work? Nope. Boom. I rolled in that 1!
Oh my God.
Roll 20's turned on me now. Holy shit.
Amazing.
So go ahead and make your roll.
Good I rolled Lord. A 20.
A 20. Okay, so hold on. So not only did you parry it, I have it. I'm going to confirm the fumble here. Let's see.
What do you have to miss?
I just have to roll. Hold on here. I got to roll the same thing again. Boom. And that would have hit. So I don't fumble, which means I got my fumble deck out for no reason. And oh man. So what does it look like as you like this enormous fucking spear comes down at you with an inverted symbol of Avacyn on the end? You know, it's about to skewer you. And what is it that you do to sort of batter this thing aside?
He sort of expected this, and when he had landed, he had turned and was prepared, and he swings Dawnbringer and just bats the spear out of the way.
Nice.
And as a matter of fact, Kev, as long as I continue to have 1 panache point left, the swashbuckler who makes this move may make an immediate... wait, what? The swashbuckler can, as an immediate action, make an attack against the creature whose attack they parry.
Hell yes!
Oh, it's a parry and riposte. Look at this.
Yeah, it's parry and riposte. Like, so if you have to spend the point to do it, and if you still have 1 left, you will get the return attack.
Okay, go ahead.
So here we go.
Smoke her again.
Come on, roll.
Come on.
Crit confirmed. It is
Holy
a crit.
Shit.
Oh, it is a crit.
It's a crit.
Crit confirmed.
Oh my God.
Holy
shit. 30 points of damage?
That's correct.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, so that is really bad news for her. Wow. So you batter this thing aside and then oh God, I don't know. Like, I guess you sort of like bat it over you, spin, and then drive this thing into her. And she's so big, like she's about 8 or 9 feet tall. And she screams as this burning white blade is, goes into her, and you pull it out. Holy smokes! And then Rickard, it's your turn now. What are you doing?
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, hold on. You know what? No. Let's do one more thing. You get the benefit of the crit, so you confirm the crit. Let's see what.
Right.
Because you got screwed over by the crit last time. Let's see what we get this time. Here we go.
Deck.
Cut the deck here. Boom. That stupid optional rule card out. Here we are. So it won't affect the damage unless it's triple damage. For piercing. Oh. Target is dazed for 1 round.
Oh, that make it hard to fly, I would imagine.
I'll see here. I actually don't remember what dazed does. And I am once again a fucking dummy and forgot to put my screen out. So I can't just quickly look at it. Here we go. Dazed. Dazed creature is unable to act normally. A dazed creature can take no actions, but has no penalties to AC. Holy shit. So she loses her next round.
She's just not ready for it.
No, she was so overmatched by you. All right. So no penalties to AC, but what are you doing, Rickard?
First, he will make his normal attack.
Okay.
So roll
now,
the rapier. He pulls it out.
Just a reminder, if you are remaining stationary, remember that you can... you don't have multiple attacks yet. You're only level 5. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay, so, yeah, go ahead.
He pulls the blade out and he sees her blood on it, and it sort of gives him hope.
Let's take a look at that image one more time as well, too, because those horrible fucking black eyes that she's got.
Oh, yeah.
So she screams out, her pale white face contorted in anger. And okay.
The roll. Oh.
So that
feeling overconfident.
Now, remember
what
that
he does do.
Yeah.
He uses his surprise strike. So he uses his swift action. He expends a mythic power to make a melee attack against a target.
Nice.
When you make a surprise strike, the target is considered flat-footed regardless of any class features or abilities they might have. And I add my tier to the attack roll.
Holy shit.
And damage from this attack bypasses damage reduction, which I don't know.
Holy shit.
So here's the surprise attack after I spend my mythic point.
Here we go.
Come on. Good roll this time.
So she's flat-footed. That'll be easier.
Right, so...
Oh my god. Crit! Oh, not a crit confirmed, but holy crap. No. Oh my god. So that's 14 points of damage against her again. Good lord. Wow. So you slash at her. She's somehow able to keep that spear in the way. So the first stab doesn't go, doesn't find a target, but that second one sure does. She screams again as that blood begins to pour from her wings.
I think that first strike went so deep too, Kev, into her that Ricard was not expecting it, and withdrawing his blade sort of threw him off balance. Like he just wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Ricard, is that it for you? You still have a move, I think.
Yeah, there's not really anywhere to go.
Okay.
I won't move away from her.
Okay. All right. And next up is Magdalena. What are you doing?
You're not going to flank her?
Well, where would I... She's right against the wall.
But at the other side.
You could move your weapon over on that side.
Weapons doesn't get a flanking bonus and doesn't create one.
Oh, I see. Well.
Never mind. I
would have had to really dance around to get over there.
Boom.
Okay.
I'm charging in. Literally.
All right. Give me a ride check because you're going across difficult terrain there.
Fair enough. Now, this ride check says I have a -6, but I have
No,
a.
add +6 to that because when Cavaliers riding her, when Cavaliers are mounted, they don't suffer an armor penalty.
So don't add it. Don't put a plus. Just put a 6.
Yeah, don't put a plus. Just put 6. Boom. Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay. So ride and attack with the spear.
Here it comes. So +2 to hit. Oh, that's right. You had -2 to your AC last turn too, Rickard. Oh, smokes.
Yeah, I needed that.
That nat 1. Oh! Did that. Is there any bonus you're missing here right now? Oh, you know what? Remember what you can do with your mythic power.
You can surge.
Yeah.
And roll a d6 to add into that. Do it.
Oh, yeah. Mythic power surge plus 1d6.
Yeah.
Now, does a spear do double damage on a
charge?
Charge, yeah. Maybe it's only a lance that does that.
Perhaps.
Let's see here. Spear. Where are you? Yeah, brace.
Yeah, spears are for bracing. I was just going to say they do the kind of the opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
They brace against a charge.
So you charge in and hit the thing. Is there a Cavalier ability, though, that gives you a bonus on charges? I can't remember if that's what you've got right now or it's something you get at if you take your next level in Cavalier.
Shields, challenge, and...
Kev, I will say something.
Yep.
I know it's mid-combat, but you really min-max the shit out of these characters.
I didn't with Magdalena, though. I
Brent
fucked
would
up
be
with
so
her.
proud.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, I am a min-maxer at my core.
I know you are. You're the other Brent in our group, so it's just so funny because. But they are very fun to play.
And they're, what do you call that all the decisions that were made for the mechanical elements have story basis for them.
Right, they all make sense. They're not right. Brent sometimes crosses the line between min-maxing and any logic just to, you know.
I would never
think a level of barbarian and then a level of ranger and then a level of sorcerer.
So an interesting thing about in terms of the min-maxing, what you mean is like the different levels in Magdalena. That was actually for a story reason, not for the like if she was straight Cavalier, straight cleric, or straight paladin, she would have been a different fit. But I didn't want to go just straight paladin because I sort of pictured her as well, for one thing, I wanted to get the Ghost Rider thing in her, but I also like the idea of her being a priest or priestess as well, because I think that's an interesting, complex character there. This weird spirit talker who also worships Avacyn.
No, I just mean you fit the powers and the stats and everything together very powerful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed. Okay, so Dave, that then is a hit. So thanks to your connection to Avacyn, you are able to get that to spear to strike true, and boy, does it. Oh, man. Lethera screams in pain and just seems confused, like utterly and totally confused right now. Whew.
Like she was not expecting this.
No, and she's just sort of, and that's unfortunately what she's doing. She's just sort of screaming in pain and stumbling on the ground. Her wings have been injured by you guys and is struggling to try and collect herself. So she does nothing this round. Ricard, what are you doing?
Oh, but I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done. Sorry. What are you doing?
Well, you guys were just talking about min-maxing and stuff, and I'm saying, okay, well, as soon as they're done chatting, I'm going to say, I'm going to expend one more mythic point. Take another action.
Outstanding. Okay.
Attack again with no bonus for charge.
Okay.
And no damage modifier.
Do it.
Eventually, it'll show up. I think I rolled it. Did I hit roll?
Oh, yeah.
It's thinking.
Is it thinking?
I have no idea.
I hit. Well, no, but I hit the thing and I put 0, 0, and then I hit.
Oh, there it is. No?
No.
No, I'm seeing nothing. Is there a prompt for a modifier?
Yeah, and I hit submit. Submit. Submit.
Oh, there you go. Now it
Hey.
showed up.
Maybe I backed
Ooh,
up.
nice. All right. So that skewers into her.
And then the spiritual weapon gets to attack.
Yep.
It doesn't get a bonus. For another 5.
Nice. Let's see here. Another. That hits. Nice. Excellent. Okay. So here's the thing you guys actually notice. The spiritual weapon seems to be the thing that is affecting her the most. And that critical hit you got on her. You know that while they look like human flesh, angels are not made of human flesh. They are made of the, manifest will of the divine. Those wounds may not be quite as bad on her as what you expected.
Right.
Okay. So that was Magdalena's gone. She now has her missed turn. We're back on Ricard. What are you doing?
He's attacking her again.
Okay. Ricard, give me a religion check, please.
Religion. To see if he knows something.
I just want to see if you can piece something together here. Yeah. Okay. So when you combat demons, demons often require you to make use of certain weapons made of certain elements, weapons with certain enchantments on them. Often they need to be aligned with good, say, in order to do any kind of effect on the target, or at least to have full effect on the target.
Right.
You're having a nagging suspicion that might be happening here as well. And mechanically, guys, what I'm suggesting is that this thing may have damage reduction. So each hit is I'm subtracting a certain amount from it.
Right.
And then it's only what's in excess of that. And that's because what your weapon you're using does not have isn't of the correct type to pierce that, what do you call it? Pierce that reduction. The force weapon, however, is doing full.
Right.
Well, I don't really have a better option than my rapier anyway. It's not like I could use a different weapon that's enchanted in a different way.
Magdalena, give me a religion check, will you?
All over it.
22. What's inside that sensor?
The tears of Avacyn could be used to bless our weapons. Wait a second. The sensor of tears. I could bless your weapon if you just delay a little bit. And then you'll be able to... And then if you just give me a moment, I'll bless your weapon and you'll be able to do more damage to this fiend.
Magdalena, you don't have a shield, do you?
It says she has a shield skill, but I don't see...
Yeah, I don't think she gets a shield bonus, though.
She has proficiency.
Yeah, okay, so that's right, because you use your spear two-handed, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So...
Well, spear in one hand, and if Ricard's going to delay, I'll pull up the sensor of tears and bless weapons.
So I'm assuming you've got the sensor out, and just as a reminder, this is what the old sensor of tears looks like.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's cool.
So you're able to pull that thing from where you've secured it at your waist, and give me. Let's see here. I don't think, because you are a cleric, you're not going to have to make any kind of check or anything. You're just able to bless the weapon. So I'll just move Ricard after Magdalena. So Magdalena, that was a to retrieve the item would be a standard action. You'd have to spend or it could be a move.
Part of a move?
I don't think. Let me double check. I actually think it's a standard action in Pathfinder. Yeah, which so you might need to spend a mythic power to do all of that in one round. But let me double check just to make sure I'm not screwing you over.
Well, now's the round to do it, though.
To screw you over?
To screw him over? Yeah, I was going to say.
No, to take all these actions and bless our weapons while she's dazed.
No, Dave, you're right. Getting an item is a move action.
Nice.
Yeah, retrieve a stored item is a move action. It does trigger an attack of opportunity,
but
dazed. She's dazed. She ain't doing nothing.
Nice.
All right. So I will pull the Sensitive Tears as my move action. I will bless Rickard's weapon as my standard action and use a mythic PowerPoint to bless my own weapon.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. Then Rickard, you now have a blessed weapon. What are you doing?
Now she will feel the real sting of the rapier.
Mm-hmm. Boy, you better hope that Avicen's gone, her going missing hasn't corrupted this, and what you're doing is healing her.
Oh,
we've just been played by the DM.
No. Okay, so that is so close.
I'm going to spend one of my mythic points.
Yeah, you don't even have to make a roll. Then all you need is one more point, and that will connect with her. So that is sufficient. And you want to hear some good news?
Yes, please.
That pierces her flesh. You pull it out. Black ichor comes pouring out, and she looks panicked because it is not healing the way the last strikes have. It's the blessing has taken hold. Anything else this round?
No, nothing this round. I'm going to save my points.
Then it is
crazy.
Furia's turn. All right, so she howls in anger.
Wouldn't the spear have gone on my turn?
What does it take to? Does it go automatically?
Yes.
It does. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Make an attack roll.
Sorry, I was so busy blessing weapons, I forgot that I have.
That's totally fine. She hasn't acted yet. She's not moving anyway. She is stationary. So, oh man, so
just
close.
Misses.
Close.
Yeah, just barely misses. Okay, so then it is her turn. So she first will try and she now knows what your secret is. So she's not. Last time she tried to put all of her force into this to really take you down in one hit. By which I mean she did a power attack. She knows you're a tricky target now, so she's going to do something more different and deliberate. Does a 21 hit you?
Yep.
Oh! Don't you have something that allows you to spend panache to dodge or something like that?
Oh, you're right.
Just because you've got 5 panache you're sitting on.
Yep. At first level, when an opponent makes a melee attack against a swashbuckler, I may spend 1 panache to move 5 feet and gain a dodge bonus to my AC equal to my charisma modifier.
Which is what?
+3, which would make it a 22.
Pretty awesome. All right, so you duck and dodge out of the way of this. She screams in anger. She does, unfortunately, have reach, so she can still reach you. Go ahead and move yourself 5 feet.
Yep.
Actually, I think you would have to move here because of difficult terrain.
Like, move like this way.
Yeah, because the other one would be difficult. So you duck back and dodge underneath her spear. She brings it back and tries to hit you again. She's intent on hitting you, you little swashbuckler.
I am going to spend another panache and try to use my parry again.
Okay. So here's what you need to beat. Oof.
Ooh, that's hard.
Let's see. Here it comes.
We can roll a 29. Can I?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can. It's
Okay.
possible. It is physically possible.
Okay. And you got your mythic power still?
Oh,
Ooh. But that is not going to do it. All
I
right.
would have to hit 2 6s in a row off spending a mythic power. It's not worth it.
The bonus to your AC, is that until the end of the round, or is that well, he's at 29, really wouldn't matter. 29 would still hit you.
Oh yeah, it hits me.
Okay, so then you take, let's see. Here we go. You take oh, actually it'll be one larger. 12 points of damage plus 1 point of cold.
So 13.
Yep. And then she is going to take her final attack and try and hit that pesky cavalier. Okay. Oopsies.
Not so dodgy.
Here it comes, and boom! Does a 20 hit you?
20 just hits me.
Oh, no.
But
All right. So then this spear swoops around and hits you. You take 11 points of damage and 3 points of cold damage as this spear tears through you.
How many, sorry?
You took 11 points of regular damage plus 3 in cold. So it's 14 in total unless you've got some kind of resistance.
No.
Okay. That is the end of her. Oh, then she gets a move as well. No, but it will only be a 5-foot step she can take, which she's got nowhere to go. So she'll stay exactly where she is. Now, is she going to spend mythic power to take another standard action? It's a good question, guys, but that would only be if she was a mythic character. Magdalena, what are you doing?
Let's do a little calling on the power of Avacyn to heal my friends and I.
Okay, which are you trying to do here?
I will use my channeling energy healing in a 30-foot radius.
Okay, let's just one sec here. Channel energy is a supernatural ability. So I don't think it. I was curious as to whether it draws attacks of opportunity or not. Spell-like abilities do, but I don't think that supernatural abilities do. So I think you're free to do this without getting tagged by an attack of opportunity from Our Lady of Bleeding Wings.
So it's 1d6 plus 1d6 damage for every 2 levels of cleric. So 2d6 healing.
Nice.
Is there a bonus for your... Nope.
You will also, everyone, because of the type of cleric you are, everyone will get +1 AC as well until the end of your next turn.
Sweet. So
nice. So everyone heals 8 as this wave of white mana pulses out from Magdalena, and it does draw an attack of opportunity. You want to make an attack for your spear?
I will attack with a mythic. I'll use a mythic power point to take an extra action and attack.
Okay.
While my spear is blessed.
Here we go. Oh. So if you spent mythic power, you got about a 50% chance of. Oh no!
No, that's another mythic power point.
Oh, so close.
And the magic weapon. No.
Okay, so that is you've topped up your health for a little bit. Now, can you move it for free, or you have to spend a move action to do that?
No, it's moved as part of the spell.
As part of the
spell's move?
Spell is no concentration, right? It's not a concentration spell. It just
Nope. It just
Okay, perfect.
appears,
Okay.
and it's here for 1 round per level, and I cast it as a 5th level cleric, so it'll be
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for
Third level. Oh, yeah, you're right. You heightened it. That's right. Good call. Look at you guys making good use of your abilities. Good Lord.
This gout of fire, is that damaging?
You're not going to want to move into that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ricard, you are up. What are you doing?
So you're saying there's fire right in front of me? Sorry, I missed that.
There's fire right over here.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
I will step forward.
Okay.
With my move.
Okay.
And make an attack.
Here it comes.
Come on, big money.
Oh, that's not... No.
Now, I forgot about this.
Mm-hmm.
The sword itself is a legendary item.
Yes, it is.
And it has its own legendary power.
It does.
And because I am bonded with it, I can roll a D8 to add to it.
Yeah.
So I might as well attempt to roll a D8. If I
D8,
hit an 8...
If you get an 8, it'll put you at 23, which is still not quite good enough, from past experience.
Oh, right.
However, I think you could still spend that to get your, as if it was your mythic power.
Oh, like to just make another attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got to add, you used your Swift Strike to do extra damage to ignore DR. I forgot about that. Taking 10 more damage than I thought.
Oh, like on that one attack, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, that's actually probably what I will do is spend a mythic point to use my... Where the heck is it? Surprise Strike again.
Nice. Okay.
Seems to be a really good one because it bypasses damage reduction. And, it says that I add my tier to the attack roll.
Oh, so plus tier? 2.
Oh, okay.
Tier is 2.
Okay. So, there we go.
Excuse me, my goodness. Holy shit! 20. Okay, but you rolled an 18 to confirm. So, unfortunately, the crit doesn't confirm, but that's another 11 damage. That do you add your tier to the damage as well as the attack, or just the attack?
Just to the attack roll. The damage, though, bypasses damage reduction.
Wow. Okay, so then, yeah, she takes another... There's another vicious little stab. More black ichor is leaking out of her side. She's now bleeding from like 4 different wounds. And she screams. You think you can see a little bit of sizzling as well, too, where the holy grace of Avacyn is burning through this corrupted angel's form. Wow, is that it for you this round?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, then it is time for our fallen angel. So she turns, and she does not like what she is receiving from you. So once again, now she's going to try and end things. She is getting cocky again. So here we go.
Oh, then I'm going to roll against her.
Okay. Call. That's what I'm rolling here. Okay, you ready? Here's what you need to beat. Boom. Oh, only 16. Good Lord.
Here we go.
Okay, so do not screw this up because it's going to be a big hit if she hits. Oh my God! Another crit! Holy shit.
That's a lot of
Oh my
crit.
God. All right, so let's see what we got. Oh, that's the one I used last time. Put that on the bottom here. Okay, let's see what the crit is this time. Crit is for piercing. Overreaction.
She starts speaking in hyperbole.
No, it's this is actually interesting. So she takes the crit damage, which is a whopping 26. Holy hell.
Wow. But for the record, I only have a single point of panache left, so...
Wow.
And if I spend it, I lose some of my powers.
So I know you regain panache when you kill someone. Do you gain panache on a crit hit?
Let me just quickly find that panache thing.
I can't remember what regenerates your panache and what doesn't.
Critical hit with a lighter one-handed melee weapon. Oh,
you have 2 panache back because you've got at least 2 crits so far.
Oh, that's right. I should have 3 then total.
Okay,
oh, that's
so here's what
amazing.
happens with this crit, guys. So first you hit her and it stabs in, and then as it goes in, there's this like moment where her blackened orbs make eye contact with you, and for a split second, this there's like slowing of time, and this little smirk comes up in the corner of your mouth, and you twist the blade, and she screams and goes thrashing back, triggering attacks of opportunity from both of you guys.
Oh, wow.
So guys, go ahead and make attack rolls against her.
Amazing. Come on. Here we go. Immediately rolls a crit.
And you roll a crit. Oh, Magdalena.
Oh, and I will use the mythic power of my sword to add a d8 to that to make sure it's
nice.
Beautiful.
Magdalena. Oh, man. Yours stabs deep into her bicep. Bicep wound. Give me a d4 roll, please. Holy shit.
This is unbelievable.
1. So she takes 1 point of strength damage as well.
Oh.
Now, let's see here. That is from Magdalena did 19 points of damage to her. Wow. And Rickard hit, doing 15 points of damage. Whoop, Moliere. Guys, how does this angel fall?
I think that sort of the opening, we both saw it, and we sort of just like spear her at the same time, piercing right through her, and she falls into a heap of ichor and
awesome
evil blood.
So what falls is that blackened form that you saw, this corrupted angel with blood-stained wings, blackened eyes. It's even her hair seems suffused with black, dark blood. But as she sits there, she looks up, and behind her, amongst her black or her white wings, there's this spreading pool of black blood, which itself seems to be like a second set of wings spreading out behind her. She coughs and sputters, and she looks up at you, Magdalena. And you see that. What are you doing? Like, what are you looking back at her? She's made eye contact with you. What is it that Magdalena is? What's she feeling?
Remorse that she had to slay one of their own. And
okay.
She understands that this creature is no longer who it once was, but it's a sad day when a priestess of Avacyn has to slay an angel to protect others.
Okay. So she sees that pity and remorse in... Oh, actually, pity is different from remorse. Are you feeling pity for this creature as well? I mean, it killed a town, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess to contextualize this, what I'm picturing is like this thing that you have ended, like... This is one of the divine agents of your goddess.
Maybe a little bit of both. You know,
okay.
Pity's more like sympathy, but I'm feeling sadness as well. Like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Rickard, did you take a shit ton of damage, or did I accidentally put it on your token?
Whoops. I think you must have.
I might have put, yeah, sorry.
I was supposed to be at 22.
Okay.
Or 30? I was at 22, and then I was healed by 8. Yeah, I should be at 30.
Okay. So yeah, that was me. Sorry. I'm spreading damage to everybody. Okay, so what you see is in the depths of these black eyes, there is a small fleck when she looks at you, and maybe it's a reflection of the fire that still burns around you, although those fires seem to be dying down. Maybe it's the, well, no, it can't be the lightning either because that's got a bluish tinge to it, but there is a slight glow in the back of her eyes, a faint candle that seems to spring to life when you lock eyes with her, and your sympathy, I guess, or your regret over having to strike her down sort of hits. What are you doing?
I dismiss my mount. And I take the censer of tears, and I bless her, hoping that it will smear the stain of evil from her so that she can, arise with to a better place before when she passes.
So what is it you say as you're spreading this over her?
Avison may be gone, but her forgiveness and compassion lives on in your sisters and their brethren.
So as you're moving this over her, it's spritzing this mist or little bits of liquid over her, and where it hits, it sizzles and burns, just like your sanctified weapons did when they cut into her. But instead of recoiling in pain as she was before, you actually see a soft smile work its way across her face, and that slight flame in the back of her eyes grows a little stronger and a little stronger. And she looks at you, and she does not say it, but you can tell. You can tell that she is grateful. And what happens is, as as the censer continues to sort of move across her, and you finish your benediction, there's the sizzling from where the water has hit. It suddenly flares to life and burns like a clean reddish flame, the kind of flame that you see around a campfire, the thing that brings people together, that warms them. It's the fire of a hearth, shared with a loved one, that speaks of safety and warmth and comfort. It's the fire that lights the way to make through a darkened forest. It's the thing that holds back the dark things of the night. And you see her suddenly she's engulfed in this inferno. And you both have to sort of step back, but neither of you is being burned by this. It definitely burns with the heat, and you can see there's a scorching around the periphery. Each of these smaller fires now, those ones that burned with that baleful light, they all go out one by one, leaving only this blazing pillar that is where Lethera fell. And then suddenly, from out of that wondrous and divine blaze, flies this. She spreads her wings wide above you, and there's this halo of flame that encircles her. And instead of the terrifying apparition that you saw in that vision, what you see is the wonder and glory of Avison personified. You cannot, the flames are so hot that you cannot see, but tears of joy are streaming down your face and being carried away before they ever hit your cheeks. At that, she looks down and wordlessly sort of nods at both of you, looks upward, and then like a shooting star flies up into the night sky until she is suddenly and so swiftly so far away that you cannot see her. But what you see drifting behind, if you look at that photograph, or the illustration, and you look at the symbol on Rickart's weapon, do you see any commonality between the symbol of Avison and the outstretched wings of her angels. That's the image, that after image that is hanging there in fire that slowly drifts down. And you guys are staring up, and you don't notice that the flames next to you have essentially almost burned down. But you do hear a and you hear the accented voice of Ulrich. What happened? And you look over, and where that flame was are both Sigmund and Ulrich. What do you guys do?
You guys are no help.
Wait, they're here on the ground?
Yeah. Let me, here, it may be easier if I grab their tokens. There's Sigmund. There's Ulrich.
How are you here? What a miracle.
The power of Avison.
Sigmund looks up and says, What miracle? What do you mean? And he sort of pokes his glasses up. Where are we? What happened here?
We just fought an angel, and
Ulrich kind of looks around, and his, you see his face takes on that nasty bat-like kind of, form that he takes sometimes. You know that, like, any vampire movie made from like 1990 onwards, that kind of weird bat face that vampires get. That's what he looks like when he transforms. It's kind of, and he's got his claws out. Where is it? Where is it?
It's dead.
An angel. Dead? And you can tell that it will take some explanation to explain to Ulrich and Sigmund what the hell just happened. I think it likely will take you some time to process what has happened.
I think so.
Now, as we, the camera kind of pans away, leaving you guys standing in the middle of this thunderstorm, the rain pounding down on you, the rain pounding down, the wind howling through the now vacant walls on this. What are you guys thinking? Like, what is Rickard thinking? What is Magdalena thinking?
Rickard is thinking that we must return to the church who we work for, whatever organization that is, and report back immediately of what we have seen and what has happened, because...
And return the Censer of Tears. It's not meant to be out and used like this.
Yeah. Okay. So we pan away and leave them there. The next scene opens. And let me just quickly change our audio cues here, guys. Because this is not... The lightning and storm has ended. And the dawn has come. Let's see here. No, that is not what I want. Fire elemental, that's what you guys want, right?
Of course.
There's a dragon sound I've been using for one of the characters, this Vesk, who's like a lizard man in our Starfinder game, and it's really fucking great. Okay. Well, I think that'll have to do. Give me one sec here, guys. You know what's going to happen is I'll end up having a bunch of this shit loaded, so it won't take me so darn long to be looking around through these things. I'll just be able to queue it up like there's nothing. I'm just going to turn this down a bit. So here we go, guys. Morning comes. And you guys are standing before the ruins of Heron's Grace Monastery. Already, members of the monastery are busy trying to salvage what can be from the wreckage. It does appear that, fortunately, it was only the front structure that seems to have been ruined. And really much of the rest of the structure does still stand intact, though it will take years for this to recover. We see our heroes standing out front, their mounts, their their traveling clothes on, getting themselves ready to leave, and Mother Agatha is standing there as well. There are monks that are handing off to the two heroes who do not have players right now, to Ulrich and I think that Ulrich and Sigmund, they're going to ride in a cart because horses probably don't react terribly well to Ulrich, and Sigmund's not really the most, he's not the best at riding. So you guys have a cart that they ride in, and there's monks that are loading some supplies in the back to provision you guys for the trip back to Thraben. But Mother Agatha walks up to you two and says, "I heard that you were departing. Are you certain that we cannot get you to stay, or we cannot convince you to stay? There's so much work that must be done."
No, we have duties. We have to return the Censer of Tears and report what's happened here. The disappearance of Avacyn is having a far greater effect on the land that wasn't known prior to this. And perhaps there's more work to do, but fear that our journey is not here rebuilding. It may be elsewhere in more dangerous times.
We knew that these dark times came when Avacyn's voice fell silent. But what... she's been gone for so long. I fear that if the Gold Knight, the host of the Gold Knight, can fall to this corruption, what hope do the members and fallible mortal members of the church have? That Inquisition, surely that must have some other intent. And you guys know that the Inquisition is a part of the church that has sprung up recently that seems like basically the extreme version of your faith. All the things that the Spanish Inquisition was known for, in broad strokes, is what this Inquisition is known for as well. In fact, Rickard, I think you were the one who actually saved Ulrich from a mob that was ready to burn him because they thought he was a werewolf.
Right.
The world is so dark now. You're certain that you cannot keep the light stoked here. And she's sort of holding your hands, Magdalena.
I'm afraid not.
Then our prayers will go with you. And please, if you have any word of Sigarda, please send it back to us. Sigarda is the head of the host, or the archangel for the host of Herons, the one who founded this monastery, just as an FYI.
Ooh.
You will?
We will.
We will.
Then, unless you guys have anything else to say to her, we will end the session with you guys turning and riding away out and through the gates of the Heron's Grace Monastery. And as the doors close, you can see that those wards that were glowed with divine power before, you guys ride past the camera. We go up and pull in tight on those wards, and we see them begin to flicker. And the scene ends before we see what happens. So,
nice. Guys,
that is our 3-shot in Innistrad. So, Jeffrey, first off, Jeff, thanks so much for your donation as well. I really hope that this was worthwhile, the very generous donation that you made. I hope you had fun in Innistrad.
That's so much fun.
Awesome. For those listening at home, actually, let's get out of the game, and then we'll do our Make Witty outro. Stop sharing. Boom. Okay. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for, if you made it all the way through the 3 sessions, thanks for joining us for our 3 session arc through Innistrad. This was intended as a thanks to Jeff for his very generous donation to the Heroes Save Villages campaign. But I've had a shit ton of fun in this setting, in the system as well too. So this may not be the last that you see of our heroes. If our stalwart players are interested in returning to Innistrad anytime soon, what do you guys think?
I would totally play this again.
Absolutely.
Great. So apart from, I mean, obviously I fudged a lot of rules at in that last session. But I think that, what did you guys think of? And this is now 3 sessions we've played with a fairly complicated version of Pathfinder. What have you guys thought of that? We play a lot of OSR games with much more streamlined rules more often. What's it like playing something with this much more complication?
It was pretty good. You're right. It's a little complicated at times, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the characters were interesting. The mythic powers gave them an extra layer that you don't get just from your standard game. And being able to use some different combinations and stuff. Jeff joked about you min-maxing these characters, but really it was like the combinations of skills and abilities complement each other really well. And the mythic piece is really fun. And shit, I want to play a Cavalier now.
Well, you know what? Like, one of the things that was interesting about seeing you guys play is, like, when we started the session, we were fumbling a bit with the rules, I think, because it's a transition to get back to a game like this where there's a lot going on, there's a lot of rules to keep track of and stuff like that. But by mid-session, like, Jeff, you were making use of every single one of your abilities, regardless, so, like, did you find by the end of it that, like, once you had refreshed your memory with it, that you enjoyed having those options? Or was it just like, could you have done with less options and had just as much fun?
No, I actually think it was about the right number of, options.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, you guys both made, I mentioned you, Jeff, was using it, but same thing with you, Dave. Like, you made great use of your spells, both in combat and as utility spells too. So
I think it is nice having characters that have so many options. It does feel good.
Yeah. Well, especially in that first fight we had with Elspeth Falconwrath was, I think, when you guys had really, as it were, done your homework. You'd read up your characters, you knew what they were capable of, and that's when it was freshest in your mind. And like, boy, did you guys play those characters well in that session as well.
Yeah.
In the sense of, like, you made use of all the things that were available on the character sheet. And of course, like, if this was something that was played more frequently, you would obviously get to know it better as well.
Yeah, and well, I think I might have mentioned it offline after one of the sessions, is that with a pre-gen, and specifically like a level 5 pre-gen, we don't know the skills and abilities as well as a character that we start from level 1 and bring up through to level 5, so you don't understand the dynamics of all their skills and abilities. I kept looking things up in between turns. I'm like, Frightful Gaze? No, that's a will save. She'll kill that. Like, I'm going through everything, and I'm like,
yeah.
But it was fun because I'm constantly refreshing. But yeah, it was cool to play something that you created, but at the same time, a little less awareness of how everything works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that always, I mean, that was the one concern I had with it was that, like, oh god, is this just going to be so many options that it'll just be, you'll pick 1 or 2 things and just keep doing those. But you guys really did go deep into those character sheets to take advantage of everything that you had. And that's what I like. And we talked about this a bit before too. And that's what I was kind of hoping is, like, you don't need to use everything all the time. It's just that if you could find something interesting every time you haven't, it's your turn to do something, whether it's in combat or out of combat. And you guys seem to do a pretty good job of that as well.
The one thing I was going to do was a ranged healing spell on Jeff's character. If he was going to take 1 more shot of damage, I was going to do like a ranged cure moderate on him and
That's right, because you got that mythic version, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I'm like, oh, but I needed some healing too, so I used the channel energy instead.
It was I was surprised how up and down the combat went too. Like you guys did. I rolled not very well for like she rolled like a 1, a 3, and a 4 on some of her attacks. But boy, I mean, I got the sense that she felt pretty fucking scary to you guys, though.
Oh, absolutely. Her stats were crazy. I think if we hadn't hit the sort of her one that she rolled on that one attack, and the fact that we actually hit quite a few crits is what made the fight go the way it did. But
yeah, yeah, no, and it was. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love role playing games. Right? Is just the completely unpredictable results. Those crazy chain crits you guys were getting is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's great to know, guys. So for those listening at home, as always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to respond in a timely fashion. I'm doing a better job this week of staying on top of my responses, so I will get back to you quickly. You can also reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and you can also shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You may not know as well that I am also the host of a podcast, also called Dungeon Musings. And that is less talking about, less like, well, I mean, there's no actual plays on it. And mostly what it is theories behind running role-playing games, preparing for games, some thoughts on what I'm running right now. Today I recorded a session. I recorded an episode dealing with 10 rules for preparing one-shots. So if you enjoy the content in the channel and you want something that's more discussion-based, you can probably find that on the podcast. And you can find that on any podcast platform that you may favor. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, any thing. It's on Anchor as well, and you can actually leave voice messages on that. So you can also find it on Anchor, but it's available on all those other platforms as well. Finally, this session was actually made possible due to a donation to the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. And that is the Heroes Save Villages campaign that benefits SOS Children's Villages International. Last year, we raised over $1,000 for the charity, and we're making great headway this year to match, if not exceed that goal. And there's a bunch of neat rewards on there. All the charity sessions have been claimed up until June. So there's no more of them available. But once June is over and once I've gotten caught up on my charity sessions, the next one is actually going to be Dave's charity session playing Fantasy Flight's Legend of the Five Rings game. So I'm looking forward to that, very much so. But we've also got 2 sessions of Champions coming up, playing the superhero role-playing game. And we've got one playing Fantasy Flight Star Wars, with one of our regulars from the Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea game. And then we've got one playing the One Ring role-playing game, the Tolkien-type game set in Middle-earth, which is another one of the stars from our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign and the Iron Gods campaign, which is taking place tomorrow morning. So if you enjoyed the charity sessions, that is another option that you can claim, but not until sometime after June. There's a lot smaller options as well, all of which is obviously optional. I don't want anybody to feel obliged to do that. I just ask that if you enjoy the content on the channel, you enjoyed the session, I just ask that you consider clicking through and learning a little more about the Hero Save Villages campaign and the SOS Children's Villages International organization. All money that's donated to them goes strictly to the organization. None of it's eaten up by bureaucracy, and none of it goes to the channel. It's all just to help out those folks, helping out kids. So anyway, guys, that's a long outro. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank my players. So Dave and Jeff, and for those who did play in some of the earlier sessions, Dave O and Steve, thanks so much. Steve O, thanks so much for playing, guys. And for you guys who made it all 3 sessions, a special thank you to you guys. This was a lot of fun prepping this, running this. Yeah, it was a great time.
That was fun, Kev. Thanks a lot for having it.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
The kids are loving it, and we're loving it.
Nice.
And hopefully everybody watching is loving it. Kids, play games.
Awesome. Okay, so then let us call this a night, and I'll start prepping for tomorrow morning. So for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. And until next time, Happy gaming.